have not been suspended. Julian Cole is now paralysed and has brain damage following his arrest outside a nightclub in Bedford in May 2013. More from Tony Fisher.
Julian's family say he suffered a spinal injury called a hangman's fracture and now needs 24-hour nursing care. They claim the crucial moments of what happened are not captured on CCTV and accuse the police of a cover-up. Bedfordshire Police say they can't comment whilst an investigation by the Independent Police Complaints Commission is still ongoing.
A teenage boy has been stabbed in Milton Keynes. Thames Valley Police say his injuries are not life-threatening but have described it as a very serious incident. More from Matt Lockwood.
Detectives say a number of teenagers were involved in an altercation in Wadham Way in Bletchley shortly after 3:30 yesterday afternoon. One teenage boy was taken to Milton Keynes Hospital with 2 stab wounds. Nobody has been arrested, but police say they believe the incident was recorded by people on their mobile phones. They are urging those people to contact them.
The Defence Secretary Michael Fallon will today warn that Britain's military bases and equipment must continue to be sold off to make sure that frontline forces are properly funded. He's questioned the need for 57 separate sites within the M25. A man from Dunstable has been fined £1,000 for dumping rubbish which he claimed had been fly-tipped outside his home. 64-year-old Patrick O'Sullivan dumped the sacks of household waste in Churchill Avenue in Aylesbury. Apple has posted the biggest quarterly profit ever made by a public company. It attributes the net profit of £11.8 billion to record sales of iPhones. In sport, Milton Keynes Dons missed the chance to go top of League One as they were held to a 1-1 draw at Scunthorpe.
Here comes the corner, across it goes, and in from McFadzean! And Kyle McFadzean's got the equaliser for MK Dons, and you have to say Dons deserve to be level. Scunthorpe 1, MK Dons 1.
And Chelsea are through to the League Cup final after a 1-0 extra-time win over Liverpool gave them a 2-1 aggregate victory. The weather, a cloudy start with some rain this morning, fine this afternoon, a maximum temperature 10 degrees Celsius, and you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Shakalaka boom boom.
Morning, guys. OK, let's sort out the business end of the stick before we get to the fun end of the stick. The business end, this is so complicated, right. So this morning, the part of Kelly Betts is being played by Matthew Lockwood.
Good morning.
Right. The part of Catherine Boyle is being played by Kelly Betts.
Hey up.
And the part of me is being played by me, because I just can't even get a break from this bloody place.
Hey up.
Brat fans, coming at you from the B to the H, back to the burger flipping B. We got a hot show lined up with some silky smooth sounds to ease you into the big W. Word.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Yep, that is what is written.
Seriously, Kels, I know, you do BBC introducing and stuff, but trying to make a 41-year-old man sound hip and with it's very, very sad. Very sad indeed. You right, Lockers?
Yeah, I'm all right this morning. How
Lockers
are you?
has got his knockers today with him?
No, I don't have knockers.
No, I mean, people don't like you.
Really?
Yeah.
I never have guessed.
Yep. And one of those people is Kelly.
Oh, dear.
And another one of those people is me.
Oh, dear, this is going to be...
That's not even I'm not even thinking of the listeners. 08459 455 555. Let's have a vote. We're not allowed to do votes at the BBC, but who cares? Do you like Matt Lockwood or do you dislike Matt Lockwood? 08459 455 555. You can send us text as well, 81333. Start your text 3CR. If you want to screw up another radio station, start your text WM. That would confuse them. Matt Lockwood, do you like him or do you dislike him? Matt, are you ready to face the public?
I dislike him myself.
Eh?
I dislike him.
He's got his knockers. This is called cyberbullying. This isn't cyberbullying, but I've just sent him a really abusive email. That is cyberbullying. This is just bullying.
I forgot my password.
Is it password?
Let's try that.
No.
Here's the thing. There's a new thing in India. I heard it on the way in, right? Where they are data processing all of the people who live in India. How many people live in India?
Millions.
1.2 billion, right? Data processing them all. And the guy in charge of it was said, well, what if someone hacks the password? They said, no one will be able to hack the password to this data. It will take them 1 million years. Right, so I've hacked it. I've hacked it straight away. So that means that for it to last 1 million years, you'd have to start at, like, 1, 2. You'd have to do all the combinations.
Yeah.
Start at the last combination and work backwards. So you get the last combination of numbers and letters that it would be, you work backwards. In your face, India!
Yeah, that'll learn them.
Yeah, I've just taught the Indians a lesson, Matt.
Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second there.
Oh, dear.
Your back's against the wall. There's no one home to call. You're forgetting who you are. You're
family of a 21-year-old man left with a broken neck after he was detained by Bedfordshire police almost 2 years ago say they still don't know what happened. Julian Cole is now paralysed and has brain damage following his arrest outside a nightclub in Bedford in May 2013. There's an ongoing investigation, and the family want to know why the officers involved haven't been suspended. Well, Matt Lockwood joins you in the studio. Matt, what are the family saying?
Well, like you said, Julian and his friends were enjoying a night out at the Elements nightclub in Bedford in May 2013. They were asked to leave. Now, initially they walked away, but then Julian, seemingly intent on requesting a refund, returned alone to the club. He was seized by security, who passed him over to several police officers present outside the club. Much of what took place is caught on CCTV. But what happened when the police officers took hold of Julian is not captured on CCTV, the family says. The next time Julian appears on CCTV footage, he has been dragged unconscious or paralysed across the road by a number of police officers in the direction of a police van. By this stage, his neck had been broken, he had suffered a serious spinal injury and was unresponsive.
This is from a blog, isn't it, that the family have written. What happened next?
Yeah, the family blog continues. Julian was lifted into the police van and driven to Greyfriars police station. He remained unresponsive and an ambulance was called. Julian suffered a severe brain injury due to a lack of oxygen reaching his brain and had a cardiac arrest. Julian was taken to Bedford Hospital, but he was then transferred to a hospital in Cambridge specialising in head injuries. Julian had suffered a spinal injury called a hangman's fracture.
Yeah.
This kind of injury, as the name suggests, is associated with a sudden and violent pulling backwards of the head, usually when there is a counter force against the body. Julian's now paralysed and needs 24-hour nursing care.
OK, so this happened May 2013. Why is the Cole family speaking out now, Matt?
Well, Julian's family feel they haven't got to the truth of what happened. The IPCC investigation's approaching its second anniversary. Julian's family feel it's stalled and ground to a halt about a year ago. They believe officers attempted to cover up what had happened by falsely alleging that Julian was chatting in the police van and that he had consumed a lot of alcohol.
And the police, what are they saying about this?
Well, Bedfordshire Police say they can't comment while the IPCC investigation is still ongoing. They say they do follow the national guidelines on the safe restraint and control of detainees.
Several IPCC investigations, aren't there, for Bedford Police at the moment with the Farouk Ali case?
Yes.
We talked about Leon Briggs, of course, and we'll be speaking to someone from the Leon Briggs campaign later on. What is the IPCC saying about this?
Well, they say it's been a complex investigation involving hundreds of documents, medical experts, CCTV trials and forensic analysis. 6 officers have been interviewed under criminal caution for misconduct in public office and grievous bodily harm. The IPCC also took over the criminal investigation into 2 door staff. They were also interviewed under criminal caution for grievous bodily harm. A decision on whether to refer the case to the Crown Prosecution Service will be taken upon completion of the report. Now, the IPC had raised the issue of suspension or restricting the duties of the officers involved in a letter to the Deputy Chief Constable in June and August 2013, and both the family and the local MP have raised concerns with us that the officers remained on active duty.
Matt, thank you very much indeed. We'll have more on that throughout the show. If you want to give us a call, are you prepared? Are you prepared to stand the public vote?
I am indeed, yes.
OK, well, let's go to Twitter, where it's really taking off.
Is it?
Yeah, well, Scott Balcony says, I like lockers.
Yep.
And that's it. Kelly, let's go to the texts and the phones. We're voting as to whether we like Matt Lockwood or not. What's the general public reaction so far?
The system.
Oh, hang on 1 second.
The system has crashed.
That's not good for Matt, is it?
No.
That can only mean one
not
thing, Matt.
Good.
What do you keep clutching your chest for?
As I say, my stomach feels dodgy this morning. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second.
Out of my studio.
Yes,
exactly.
Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second.
Don't let him come in.
Go
here.
into the studio with the girl.
Oh, God. Let me get out of here. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second. Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second.
Travel news for beds, cards and bucks.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Looking at the motorways to start with, it's all moving fine so far on the M1. And having a look at the A6 Paul Radcliffe Way in Clapham, there's a lane closed there because of roadworks at Cutthroat Lane, but that's not causing any delays at the moment. On the A404 Amersham Road in Chalfont and Latimer, there's temporary traffic lights at Lodge Lane. And on the A404 in High Wycombe, Marlow Hill has some temporary traffic lights just before Marlow Road by the Leisure Centre, so that could get very busy later on. On the trains, no reports of any delays so far. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, Sammy. You're right now.
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Everything okay after yesterday?
Oh, after yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, listen, we were really worried about you, and it's just great to have you back on board, Sam.
Thank you.
You take it easy, and we'll speak to him about 50. You take it easy. We'll speak to him about 15 minutes. All right?
Okay.
Take care, Samantha. Thank you so much. What a brave girl. What a brave girl. 6:16. Wednesday, the 28th of January. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Police in Bedford have charged a man with murder after a 39-year-old man died from a stab wound on Monday. The family of a 21-year-old man left paralysed after he was detained by Bedfordshire Police almost 2 years ago have questioned why the officers involved have not been suspended. And a teenage boy has been stabbed in Milton Keynes. It happened in Bletchley yesterday afternoon. Excuse me, I've got terrible hiccups. But his injuries are not life-threatening.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's like killing a bee with a bazooka.
If you're non-stop, from the moment you start, when your day finally stops, the news where you live doesn't.
Well, we can get more now on this developing story in Luton.
The new Look East Late, for the latest from where you live.
Now we can cross live to our reporter in Milton Keynes.
Tonight at 10:25 on BBC One.
Why can't we go live to our reporter in Milton Keynes, Kelly?
Because he's taken it to the beach.
Hey! Well, I hope when he's at the beach, do you know what I hope he does?
What?
I hope that on the beach he does this. I hope he does this on the beach. Keeps on running.
Keep on hiding. One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Keep on running. Running from my arms. One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Everyone is talking about me. It makes me feel so bad. Everyone is laughing at me. It makes me feel so sad. So keep on running. Hey, hey. All right. Yeah. Keep on running. Running from my arms. One fine day I'm gonna be the one to make you understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Everyone is talking about me. It makes me feel so sad. Everyone is laughing at me. It makes me feel so bad. Keep on running.
Sorry, I thought I was going to vomit for a second.
It's like killing a bee with a bazooka.
One fine day I'm gonna be the one. Understand. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be your man. Hey, come on. Make me feel so good. I wanna be your man. All right. Come on, baby.
So boobs is not new.
Filthy, filthy, filthy. 08459, etc. Have we got any texts, Kelly Betts?
Yeah.
Can I, this isn't going to work. Really sorry, guys, this isn't going to work, because the sick note's off, so you're Catherine, Matt is Kelly. I'm going to have to call you by your character names.
That's fine.
So, Kelly, are you okay?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Catherine, are you okay?
Yes.
Kelly, you all right?
Yes.
Perfect. That's how we. Otherwise, otherwise, I've got to do the extra seconds thinking, and it means I'm off my game.
You Preva or Whale?
No,
you're still.
I'm still the governor.
Got you.
Catherine, got any texts?
Yes. Michael in St Neots has texted in. And
he's done what?
He says Matt Lockwood is great.
What?
Matt Lockwood is great. Far nicer than that 12-year-old sounded like Kelly Betts. How does that make you feel, Kelly?
I'm disgusted.
Yeah, it's confused you, isn't it?
It's confused me.
It confused you.
We can't go on like this because I will get confused. I'll get easily confused.
Well, I'm the boss, so...
Well, I just feel that this is not conducive to us working as a team if we don't know what we're actually...
There's no I in team, Matt. Remember that. And you know what assume makes? Makes you look like an idiot. Any more texts, Catherine?
No.
That's excellent stuff. Thank you so much indeed. What was the name of that texter?
Michael in St Neots.
Good morning, Michael.
I'm going to have to get myself a sticker and put Kelly on the screen so I know that actually...
Hey, Matt, I tell you, we don't need a sticker. Why don't you just have that?
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Fibre tip. Tip of the iceberg. On a ragger tip. Tip-top cream. Tippity-top-top tip-tops. These are some types of tips, including Tipex, but they're not the type of tip that we are talking about. We are talking about...
fly tipping.
Something many people think they can get away with, Jonathan Vernon Smith, for example. Well, just last week, a 64-year-old man dumped rubbish at the entrance to a building site in Aylesbury. He says the rubbish was originally fly-tipped outside his home, but he was fined more than £1,000. Phil Barton is Chief Executive of Keep Britain Tidy. Morning, Phil.
Good morning.
How big a problem is fly tipping?
It is a big problem. There were recorded over 850,000 incidents around the country last year.
And let's just clarify. So fly tipping is dumping rubbish where you're not supposed to dump it, basically.
Essentially, yes. It's rubbish that is more than litter. So it goes anything from a sort of black plastic bag upwards. In fact, the vast majority of the material that is fly-tipped is a small van load or a boots load or smaller. But there are some enormous ones where particularly where organised crime or builders who are fly-by-nights do it. But
and I'm guessing it's to save money. People are doing it because if you've got a lot of waste to get rid of, you have to pay for those facilities, don't you?
Yes, and the amount of fly tipping went up by 20% last year. For the first time, the trend has been downwards for the last 7 or 8 years, but it went up last year. And we think that one of the reasons that it went up was because quite a lot of local authorities, with the cuts and so on, are now charging for removal of bulky household waste. If you don't have a car, of course, actually doing anything about that is difficult. And then the other thing is that if you don't know how the collection services and so on work, or you don't know where your civic amenity site is, then it's tempting to do it. But clearly, it creates major problems for others. I have some sympathy with your man you just spoke about, but of course, you know, sort of. It does need to be disposed of properly, and had he done so, he wouldn't have just been passing the problem on to someone else.
Well, the argument in this case, and I guess this happens, is that he says the builders fly-tipped the stuff outside his house. He was kind of just returning what was rightfully theirs. And if that is the case, it must be very frustrating for people. And I've seen this. I've driven past places where builders have just dumped stuff, you know, in a cul-de-sac or up an alleyway, or where they think they won't get caught.
And there is a system. I mean, anybody who comes to your door and says they'll take your waste away, you know, for cash, they're almost certainly cowboys. They need to have a waste carrier licence, and it's actually the householder's responsibility to ensure that they do. We think one of the things we think is that there should be much better publicity for the fact, and that it should be a requirement that anybody who's offering to remove waste actually has some sort of waste mark so that people know that they're properly registered. The other thing, of course, is that sort of activity undercuts the legitimate businesses who actually then are paying the gate fees at landfill sites and so on.
And we've had cases on this show where someone has paid, some fellas that have turned up in a van 30 quid to get rid of their rubbish. They just dumped it somewhere, and it was the householders who got prosecuted.
Yeah, well, and that's right, because you have a duty of care for disposal of your waste. And if somebody comes to your door offering you something that's too good to be true, it probably is.
Phil, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. That's Phil Barton, Chief Executive of Keep Britain Tidy. Tonight. Get lost, Queen. I'm not having Queen on this show. I mean, really, it's...
no, that's fair enough.
It's, let's find a good...
Do you want Flo and Eddie?
No, we're going to have them a bit later.
I like the Queen song.
Sorry, Matt, was anyone talking... sorry, Kelly?
I like the Queen song that goes, in these days of cruel deceptions, this could be heaven for everyone. The song about heaven, I love that song. Very, very nice.
Take it to travel.
Don't bother, mate. You heard him sing. Do you like him or not? 81333. Start your text 3CR.
Charcoal burning everywhere. Rows of houses that are all the same, and no one seems to care. So Mrs. Gray, she's proud today because the roses are in bloom. Mr. Green, he's so serene, he's got a TV in every room. Comfort goes, they only know my soul, and make it hard for me to see. My thoughts all seem to stray to places far away. I need a change of scenery.
Have we got any more texts, Catherine Boyle?
Yes.
Let's have it.
Morning all, Lockers is okay, Kelly is brilliant, and you, Iain, are average.
Question is, do you like Matt or dislike him? I don't know any of this okay, and what do you mean I'm average, you plum?
Another Pleasant Valley Sunday, charcoal burning everywhere. Another Pleasant Valley Sunday.
I don't do a programme about Adolf Hitler. As you know, I deal in fact and not fiction. That, my friends, is the sound of a peacock. Dad pop. Where did that idea come from?
It came from my brain.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Looking at the speed sensors, it's not looking too busy so far. In Milton Keynes on the A421 Standing Road, there's roadworks at the Kingston roundabout. It's moving fine at the moment. In Hitchin on Bedford Road, there's roadworks going on at Fish Ponds Road, so expect delays there. And in Amersham on the High Street, just after the A404, there's some roadworks going on there, so expect delays there. Looking at the cameras on the A1M, it's all moving well so far, and no reports of any major delays on the departure boards, but the 6:59 service from Luton to Bedford is cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Come on, Sammy. Thank you, mate.
For the clapping, that's lovely.
Well, no, thank you for the travel bulletin, Sammy.
Thank you for your sincere gratitude.
Hey, you're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. How you doing? Yeah?
I'm fantastic,
You're right.
thank you. Are you?
Listen, it's not about me. You came in after everything that happened yesterday.
Well done.
That is amazing. Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine, thank you. What are you talking about?
You're a very brave lady, Sammy, and you're an inspiration to young women and young men.
Everywhere.
Effeminate young men everywhere.
Thank you very much.
No, Sammy, thank you.
Something happened in between a bulletin yesterday.
Thanks, Sammy. Take care, love. Speak to you later on.
And bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Police in Bedford have charged a man with murder after a 39-year-old man died from a stab wound on Monday afternoon. 47-year-old Iain Brunner of Byron Crescent in the town will appear before magistrates in Luton this morning. The dead man has been named as John Mark Duffy. The family of a 21-year-old man left with a broken neck after he was detained by Bedfordshire Police almost 2 years ago have questioned why the officers involved have not been suspended. Julian Cole is now paralysed and has brain damage following his arrest outside a nightclub in Bedford in May 2013. And a teenage boy has been stabbed in Milton Keynes. It happened in Bletchley yesterday afternoon. Police say his injuries are not life-threatening.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Milton Keynes Dons missed the chance to go top of League One as they were held to a 1-1 draw at Scunthorpe. Carl McFadzean equalised for the Dons with 14 minutes to go. Carl Robinson's side are 2 points behind Swindon and Bristol City.
The boys out of possession were magnificent. I thought we won the ball back more today than we've done in most games. But then when we got in the final third, it was almost like we'd become too lackadaisical and chose the wrong option. And we didn't have that clinicalness in the play. And I said that to the players at the end of the game. For as much as what we can criticise maybe Dave for that one mistake, I think at the top end of the pitch, everybody inclusive of that made the wrong decisions. All in all, I'm really happy with how we performed today, and I'm not too despondent in any way, shape or form.
And Robinson has confirmed that other clubs, along with Newcastle, are involved in discussions over midfielder Dele Alli, who is being linked with a £4 million move. Chelsea are through to the League Cup final after a 1-0 extra-time win over Liverpool gave them a 2-1 aggregate victory. Here's Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers.
I felt we were the better side, but it's about winning, and we didn't manage to do that to get through. So, but again, we had opportunities to score, played very, very well. We just failed to put some finishing touches, and I think if I assess the two games overall, probably their goalkeeper has got them through to the final.
Tonight's semi-final sees Tottenham go to Sheffield United with a 1-0 advantage from the first leg. Luton midfielder Luke Guttridge made his comeback from injury with a goal in a 5-0 win at Stotfold in the Beds Senior Cup, and in Conference South, Hemel Hempstead lost 2-1 at home to Sutton. And at the Australian Open Tennis, Venus Williams lost her quarter-final, but sister Serena is through to the semis. In the men's draw, defending champion Stan Wawrinka leads Kai Nishikori by 2-0. Later, Novak Djokovic takes on Milos Raonic. BBC Three Counties News and Sports. The next full bulletin is at 7.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Interesting story in the Telegraph.
Yeah, what is it?
It's My Homes or Gypsy Camp, a developer in Amersham warned.
Oh. I've never heard of that before.
No. Ah, well. Catherine joins me in the studio.
Hello.
Kelly Betts is through there.
Hello.
And if you want to phone Kelly up...
The number is 08459 455 555.
That's my job, mate.
Give me a call now.
No, it's my job to give out the number, mate.
Send me a text, start it with @3CR, otherwise it'll go to another station, and that's pointless.
It won't go to anyone if you don't give out the number.
81333.
Plum.
There's not really a lot in the papers today, and there's not really a lot in my head, and I tell you what, there's not a lot in my soul.
Oh, no.
My soul is drained.
It's your grey cardigan.
Your
grey
filthy
T-shirt.
It's not a T-shirt, mate. It's got buttons on. Instantly makes it a shirt. Buttons from top to bottom. Instantly makes it a shirt. What are you doing, Catherine?
Just looking through the papers.
Okay.
What about you?
Tufty ate my Toyota.
No way.
Why squirrels love green car... I've heard about this. Squirrels and foxes eating bits of cars. You heard about this? Kelly?
Kelly.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the various text messages that we have received.
What?
Morning, Ian. Have you taken a bully pill this AM?
A what?
Leave the poor boy alone.
A bully pill?
He's feeling under the weather, as am I.
He can't even say bully properly, he says bully.
After I repeatedly vomit plays your... I get to a certain stage and I can't read the text messages. I have like a brain freeze.
He's sticking up for you because you're being bullied.
No, that's Elaine. She is.
Yeah,
Elaine.
exactly.
She.
Mr. Elaine of Wilson Pickett is sticking up for you. Because you're being bullied.
When I was 7 years old, I was routinely followed by a stray dog.
I'm sorry to hear that, Matt. Kelly.
What's that about?
I don't know.
Dishevelled, mangy, always awkward with people.
Mangy.
It was strangely loyal.
Ever been followed by an animal? That is a genuine question. Because here's the thing. We're onto it now. The vibe is coming back. 08459 455 555. Thank you, Katie. Katie?
Kelly.
Kay.
You see, I told you these names do not work. Use a real
He's
names.
arguing with the name system like 20,000 years after Jesus invented it. Seriously, right, read that text out, Kelly.
What, about the stray dog?
Yeah, because we're onto something here.
All right. When I was 7 years old, I was routinely followed by a stray dog. Dishevelled, mangy, always awkward. It's manky.
You said mangy?
It's always awkward with people.
Hang on, has it got a G or a K?
Mangy, all right, OK. It was strangely loyal, even though I would have been more comfortable if it hadn't been around. If that happened today, I might call him Matt.
Oh, that is brilliant bullying.
Where's that from?
That wasn't bullying until the very last word. Who sent that in?
Snuffers.
Hey!
Give us a call, Snuffers.
OK, so if you want to... there are three things on the go here. If you want to bully Matt, a.k.a. Kelly, then 08459 455 555. That's allowed. I'll deal with Tony Hall and his minions later on. Right. We're asking, do you like Matt or do you dislike Matt? 81333, start your text 3CR. And have you ever been followed by an animal?
Yes, a stray animal.
No.
Just an animal.
Yeah, because there's that thing, isn't there? When you see a cat on the pavement, that makes that cat public property. Right? So you're allowed to tempt it with strokes, whistles, the curled finger, the come hither finger, snacks, bacon and nets. You're allowed to do that. But then it follows you down the street. We've all done this, Sang. We've been followed down the street by a cat and we've turned around and gone, no, go away. Go home.
Shoo.
What does shoo mean?
Dunno.
What does shoo mean?
Shoo. It just means get lost.
Yeah, but where does that come from? Is it Russian? French? Greek?
Oh, I'll put that down.
You put that down.
Where does shoe come from?
Ever been followed by an animal?
I once accidentally followed a rat.
Or Greek.
It was walking really slowly in front of me and I couldn't... It was really odd.
You've told me this story before. You followed it for quite a distance, yeah.
Yeah. I called it Matt.
OK, 084... We'll open it up. Ever been followed by an animal? Ever followed an animal? Can I play the best song I've ever heard?
Of course.
We had Howard Kalin on last week from Flo and Eddie from the Turtles. He came on a day early. I think he may have been on drugs. And he was wonderful. Now, I'm very familiar with the Turtles. I'm not so familiar with Flo and Eddie, which is kind of like his 70s group. And so I've been listening to a lot of it. They did a couple of reggae albums. They're not very good. But they did an album called Moving Targets. 1976. It's 34 minutes long. Thank you, Spotify. It's a masterpiece. You're right. Flipping it. It's a masterpiece, and this song is on it.
I'm not gay.
Win some, lose some, day in and day out it's humdrum.